Well, future cap problems aside, so on and so forth, we still have a draft to finish up here. Obviously, we very much cannot trade back into the first round. That is just not a thing. We're not going to have a selection until way down the board at the end of the second round, but it is what it is. We got our guy. It's just whether or not we made the right choice is the question. We also have to consider trading this pick away, I would say. If it will save us a decent amount of cap, I am going to have to trade this away. So 15.4 as things currently stand. This doesn't affect it at all. Okay, it was worth a shot. I figured with the guaranteed money, but I guess by this point it's low enough. So, let's see what's out there. We do have a lot of picks in the lower rounds to try and get some steals. Let's see who is out there. So we start off with the quarterbacks. Obviously, we do not need a quarterback, especially at this stage of the draft. Running backs, they're all day 3. Is not going to worry about that. Wide out, there was only one other good one. Tight end wise, we do not need a tight end. There is someone like Kenny Hamilton who does look incredibly promising, although that catching grade is a real toss-up. On the O-line, Carter Beretta. That run block could be pretty piss poor, though. There are a couple of those guys that are toss-ups there. Right guard, Max Turner. His run blocking is kind of shit. There is this guy here, Ronald Hayward, but again, the two ranges that you see there for the core stats, he's a risk, basically. See on the edge, Ted Kelly. He'll be a risk for later on. DT Amir Boykin, we don't have to risk it for him now. So we're probably talking linebackers here. Third round. There is someone like Rick Milstead, who looks very promising. We might take a further look here at his combine. Andrew Beverly is also not that bad, but he's a bit of a risk. Middle linebacker. Big risk in Tyamoni Waller. Not Walker, but Waller. If those two grades are on the high end, then he's great. Otherwise, he could be a risk. It's also Deshaun Bowers for a bit later on. On the right side, there is Glenn Park still. That might be my guy right there. That might be my guy. There is also Junior Man, who also looks insane. We haven't seen the combine yet, though. At corner, a D-man coverage for a corner. No, thank you. Okay. Well, for my money, it's one of these two linebackers. Let's look at USF's Glenn Parks. He is 23. Oh, be still my beating heart. His combine's phenomenal. Any bad grades? He just can't rush. But aside from that, this guy's a fiend. Oh, my God. What about Junior Man? 21 out of Florida State. Also has a great combine. Stamina sucks. As do the finesse and power moves there. Oh, godness. Bouncy, that's a great question. I'm going to go with more of the sure thing. I'd love if we could land Junior Man in the third round. I doubt we'll be so lucky. Glenn Parks is my guy. We did just get some linebackers. Maybe this can alter things, but Glenn Parks looks like the guy. Come on, Glenn. Be the linebacker I know you are. I'm worried about the cap. I might have gone overboard. But Glenn Parks, welcome in. We're still having a dynamite draft given the cap circumstances. 91 acceleration, 85 speed. His agility's a little bit worse than I thought it would be. But the guy can move. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. I doubt that other linebacker's available. And again, I don't have the assets to trade up right now. So we're just going to go. And we will see who is left here at the end of the third round. And we already did our big trade up. So quarterback-wise, there is a risky option in Carson Clayton. We do technically need a new backup quarterback, so he could be the project. Running back-wise, and actually, in fairness, we should look at the day threes. There's Kirkland. Not a big of a risk. Bunch of day three running backs. None of them are sure things, I would say. Wideouts, no. Tight end wise, again, nobody's a sure thing. There's a couple of guys there that could be good, but yeah. O-line, we don't got to worry about for now. All right, Lindsey's not bad. Ted Kelly could be decent. He's a bit of a risk, but he could be decent. Linebacker, Andrew Beverly is still there. He is a risk. Tyreek Kennedy, whatever you prefer, is still there. Levi Mitchell. The big questions at other outside linebacker. There was no way. There was no way it was going to happen, but I was still hopeful. Again, there are plenty of players to take a risk on here. Jesus. Plenty of players. It's just the question of who we think is the best. To be honest, I don't know. Honestly, Carson Clayton, like I said, I need a quarterback. In case something bad happens. Like, unless we take the risk on Johnny Davis or Maurice Smith later on, which honestly we could. Honestly, we could. 2 confirmed Bs. Davis has the same. Obviously, it's the accuracies that are interesting. AJ, it was an interesting one. We don't need a backup running back anymore. We don't need a wideout. We don't need a tight end. We don't really need the O-line help. We don't need help on the D-line. Linebacker, we technically don't need the help anymore. So it really comes down to just who we think is the best player. Shout out to Edward for the follow, by the way. Appreciate it. Welcome in. Yeah, it just comes down to who we think is the best player at this stage. So Taj Harding, given the fact that you're a corner with D-man coverage, what was your combine? Bouncy, things are good. Things are good. AJ, no, I wasn't affected at all by the wildfires when I was in Vancouver, thankfully. I've seen what's going on in like Kelowna and shit. It's insane. All right, so we can avoid Harding. Who the hell do we think is the best player at this stage? That is the question. Could also trade down. Honestly, I'm not against trading down. There's a lot of players that are toss-ups here, but if the value for this pick is still pretty good, then we'll be in a good spot. I'm just nervous for how the hell I'm going to get out of this money situation. 4th and a 6th, 4th and a 6th, 4th, 5th, and a 7th. A 3rd and a 6th, a 3rd rounder next year. That's not a bad return. 3rd, 6th, and a 7th. We will take the 3rd rounder. Ooh, 2032. And a 5th rounder this year. Let's do that. We'll take a 3rd rounder from the Chargers and a 5th rounder this year for our 3rd rounder. That gives us a little bit of flexibility in the future in case this doesn't work out. Yeah, Cody, I was only there for a couple of days, but I was there earlier this month. All right, so I'm sure a lot of those players are off the board. They didn't necessarily look bad. It's just there were a lot of them that we could have picked from, and none of them were total needs. So, all right, what do we got here? So there's a day 3 quarterback in Dom Kirkland, but again, we don't have to risk it there. Couple of day 3 running backs. Again, pretty much just big risks across the board. Getting into the UDFA soon. Tight ends, Alexander Cook could certainly be worth the risk if he is on the high end. There's so many UDFA guys and day 3 guys here that I'm interested in. In fairness, though, I haven't looked at combines. At least not yet. Saving that for a bit later. Because so many of the guys that are projected to go look like they're, UDFA. Bad block shedding for Kennedy. Let me look at this guy really quickly. Another linebacker wouldn't be the worst. 24. Yeah, not that guy. Speed's a little bit too low. The other guy's a pretty big risk. Were there not any middle linebackers? Not anymore, huh? Old Thad Schaefer. Honestly, read it. Why does all the UDFAs look like the best players this year? It's crazy. Could risk it for Dennis Melvin. If this guy has a good combine, he might be worth it just for the grades. Speed's good, but some other aspects aren't great. He'd get out-muscled by quite a few people. About Jamal Connor. I don't know who the hell to take right now just because the team is so frickin' well-rounded. It's a strong frickin' right there, by the way. I apologize. I mean, Jamal Connor, combine beast. Zone coverage sucks. The awareness isn't that good. Yeah, he's a combine beast, but the grades aren't that good overall. Steven Poindexter. How good is the 21-year-old out of Texas? Combine beast. I like that. See awareness. Zone coverage. I don't know who to take. We might just trade down again if the trades are worth it. We got a bunch of picks starting in the 5th round. Just start taking all the UDFA guys at that point. Like technically a little bit early, but not really. So if we trade these last 2 picks in the 4th round, save a little bit of guaranteed money. I am very, very worried about the whole guaranteed money thing moving forward. That scares me. We'll take a 4th next year and a 6th in 2 years from the Colts to trade down here. I feel like we're going to be in such a bad spot cap-wise now. I know there's the restructurings, but I haven't had to use them yet, so I am a little bit nervous. And I also am now under the realization of like, oh shit, like we are in our window. Like this next season, the pressure is really, really on to win. Otherwise, every season, some dominoes are going to start to fall. Colts are offering us just a crap load of picks. Let's do that. We'll take most of their draft class from next year. No reason to not. All right, what do I think of the Austin contract? Talked about it on the most recent episode of the podcast. It's what they had to do. Like, you can't let an Austin Matthews walk away for free. You just can't do it. So that's my thoughts on it. It's just like, yeah, they had to sign him. And it wasn't as big of an extension. It was like $1.6 million. Of a pay raise, I should say. All right. In terms of the quarterbacks, let me look at Maurice Smith. We're going to have a lot of picks in this round. 21-year-old improviser. Has some mobility. Awareness isn't shit. Accuracy's a toss-up. Let me double check here. What about Johnny Davis? Also has some mobility, not bad. The grades, pure toss-up. So Smith or Davis could both be worth it. His play action's pretty bad. Nick Stockton in a 4.57. All these quarterbacks have mobility. F awareness. We won't be taking Nick Stockton. And then Dom Kirkland has some mobility. Some of those grades are a little bit too low. So, again, sorry, everybody. I hit a point where I got to pay a little bit more attention if we're actually going to get anybody here. Joel Yankee. Joel Yankee has the mobility. The speed's a bit low. Juke move sucks. Trucking sucks. Break time. Yeah, sorry. Sorry, Yankee. It's not happening. Tavares Griffin. My fucking nose itches. Has the speed and the strength, not quite the agility. He'd have to have good grades. He does not. Get the hell out of there. Glenn Reynolds. Has the pace, has the strength. Can't spin, can't stiff arm, can't truck. I mean, he's the first one that might be worth something. He's not that great on paper, though. Greg Thornton, 24. That's never a good sign. Combine's not good enough. Wendell Griffin, 23. Combine's not good enough. All right, so there's one running back I'd consider taking right now. Good to know. There's the fullbacks later on, which, whatever. Honestly, it's probably like whatever if we have picks left. Leslie Nix at wide receiver, 22 years old, South Carolina. You're too slow. You were too slow for the pro game. So we will not be taking Leslie Nix. Any tight ends left? Garrett Sheldon. What do we got for Garrett Sheldon? He's okay. Catching's not going to be amazing. He's okay. Not amazing, but might be worth a shout. What do we have for Alexander Cook? Tremendous combine. Okay. Sea awareness. Sea awareness kind of sucks, but could be worth it. Anthony Beckett, Boise State. A little bit slower among tight ends. Not looking that bad. He's a good pass block option. Actually, just a good block option in general. That makes him intriguing. And honestly, maybe my favorite so far out of those tight ends. On the O-line, oh god. This is it's going to take a little bit to sort through. We got Brett Gates. Way too weak. Cordell Watson. Doesn't have the mobility. Will Haynes. Doesn't have the mobility or the strength. Adonis Gibson. You would have the strength with a name like Adonis, wouldn't you? Grades aren't really good enough, though. Raekwon Brown, 24 years old. Terrible. Roger Russell of Ole Miss has the strength. All right, not a single left tackle. Good to know. I was worried about a lot of these UDFAs actually being pretty terrible. What about Amari Lindsey at left guard out of Toledo? Usually where the combine grade's more important than the other grades. I feel like it's about... I mean, obviously, well, it's like right now, like, for guards, I always look at bench and I look at the bottom two to kind of see their general mobility. So it's like, this guy has the bench, the mobility, and then how do the grades measure up? And, you know, this guy's at least worth a shout if he's a good pass blocker, but he's not, so I'm not going to take him. So, I mean, I look at both. Max Hand. Very good combine. Cannot pass block to save his life. Yeah, we're not going to take him either. Max Daniels. Not good enough. Tony Middleton. Doesn't have the strength. All right, well, we are struggle bussing in terms of remaining options available. Lance Murdoch. Where's Trevor Cade? 23 out of LSU. The reps are a little bit low. The awareness is kind of mid. He can't pass block. Stephen Williams. Great combine. I hit the wrong button. What we got here for Stephen Williams? Mid awareness. Yeah. His intangibles aren't exactly that great either. Man, there are a real lack of options here compared to what I thought. Ethan Green. Pass block power sucks. His pass block finesse isn't guaranteed to be good. Not digging it. Nathan McCoy. Combine's alright. I mean, there aren't that many centers, is my guess. His run block power kind of sucks, but his pass block power is okay. He might be worth a shout. He's the first one where it's like, alright, maybe. Maybe. What do we got at right guard? Tyler Saucedo. We have your brother on the team now. 22 out of LSU. The grades. Too many low grades for my liking. Harry George. Harry George, you are shit. Dalton June. Ethan Whitworth. All right guard's bust for us. What do we got at right tackle? Darren Bundy. Born on a Monday. Fell asleep by Sunday. He is terrible. Tevin Landry, you're 24 years old. My God. You're about ready for retirement already. Too many ranges. Greg Melvin. Oh, he is a Melvin. Jesus. And then Will McLaughlin. Also trash. Oh, God. All right. The depth I was hoping for in this draft so far is non-existent. Quincy Dubois. Dubois, whatever you prefer. Combine's passable. I don't think he'll be that good. I don't think he will be. I haven't heard anything about EA ditching the UFC license. All right, linebackers. Levi Mitchell. Too slow. Jay Dyson. Promising. Your man coverage isn't good. Your power moves are shit. Your finesse moves are shit. So you got to be a good zone. It's not good enough. Lonnie Pitts. Too slow. Miles Crockett. Has the speed, doesn't really have the strength. Really doesn't have the strength. Joe Peterson. Too slow. JJ Haskins. Too slow. Oh my God. All right, yeah, I really don't have as many players left as I thought. Middle linebacker, nobody. Right outside linebacker, Ronald Riddick. Ronald Riddick, 24. Son of a bitch. He's fast, though. He might be worth a shout just out of pure desperation. What about the other guy? Maxwell Norton. He's got the speed. He's got the strength. Got some ranges that we got to be a little bit concerned about. He is very, very boom or bust, but I like him. I do like him. What do we have? A corner. Kyle Turk. 22 out of Oklahoma State. Too slow. I mean, it's a 4.48, but by corner comparison, he's too slow. Keelan Jackson, same thing. A little bit worried that he'd get torched. And then Dennis Melvin did run a 4.41, but he doesn't quite have the strength. Yeah, I'm not really a fan. I mean, 13 reps for that guy is nice, but everything else, the jump, it's just by comparisons. I'm just not as optimistic about those guys as I would have cared for. What about Jamal Connor? 23rd Wisconsin. Draft class any higher quality? On the default setting, yeah, they're not bad. There have been some that have been kind of rough. That guy's bad. Yeah, given you can change the draft class quality this year, it's a nice feature. Just haven't used it yet. Damian Johnston. Good combine, but he couldn't tackle, right? Yeah, he can't tackle worth the shit. Poindexter. We looked at you before. Good combine. See awareness. The zone coverage is a bit scary. The play record, it's just all too scary. And then Dion Allen out of Duke. Damn good combine. Man coverage isn't amazing. Pursuit's not amazing. Hit power's not. Yeah, there are fewer players here than I was expecting. That tight end that I liked was a day 3 projection. When's my next pick after this? 5 picks from now. I'm going to go for that blocking tight end. Let's go for Anthony Beckett out of Boise State. Normal dev. That's okay. You can get practice squatted. It was a calculated risk. I mean, it's a 5th round pick. What the hell am I going to do financially with this team? Oh my God. Landon Walsh just got taken. That's fine. We weren't looking at him. There's one running back left, and given that we could take a risk on a running back, let's go for that man. Glenn Reynolds. Boom or bust pick, but we'll see what's up. Hey, hello, Mr. Reynolds. 22 years old, hidden dev, really good mobility. All right. That could be an A in short route. That could be the replacement for Nash. If we can build him up a little bit. We'll see what the overall is, but not a bad pick there with old Glenn Reynolds. Do we have that linebacker Norton still available? That is the new question. Is Norton still there? He is. Maxwell Norton. Come on down. Virginia Techs. Normal linebacker Maxwell Norton. Was worth a shot. Was worth a shot. Let's see. Another pick in the 5th round. Again, from all the trading down. Which is okay. We knew we could try to do some damage in these rounds. Get some depth. There are a couple of quarterbacks we could still risk it for. There is a center. We'll take a risk on him now. Let's go for Nathan McCoy. 23 years old out of Clemson. Normal dev. That's okay. He might end up being a depth option. Could end up being the practice squad option. Worth the risk. Right now, we're just hoping to get lucky here in the 5th round. Let's look for the defensive end Dubois, whatever he prefers. I don't think there's an I, so it should be Dubois. Let's go look at this guy. Quincy. Come on down. How good are you? 22 out of USC? Hey! Hello, Quincy. Don't know how good you'll end up being. You could be trade value at the deadline, at the very least. Welcome in, Quincy. We're landing a couple here and there. Back-to-back picks as well. Not bad. We're landing a couple of guys here and there. Let's look for the other linebacker, Ronald Riddick. Ronnie, he's 24. Yeah, I mean, normal dev. We needed a depth option, though, so that's okay. So I got 2 tight ends left, 2 quarterbacks that I like. A couple of fullbacks. We'll see how many of these picks we actually make. We might as well just go for it and take the guys and then practice squad them if we don't like them. Although the tight ends might be gone. I think they were day 3 projections. Yeah, the tight ends are gone. Well, that leaves the 2 quarterbacks we were interested in, and that was Smith and Davis. And then a couple of other guys that we decided we didn't really like. Let's go after Johnny Davis first. Out of Indiana. 21 years old. How good are you, Johnny? Normal dev. That's okay. That's okay. Now is the time. Back-to-back picks. Take the quarterbacks. See what we get. How the hell am I going to make this team work financially? Let's also take Maurice Smith. See if we get a bit of a steal of a younger quarterback. We did not. Okay. Was worth a look. Maybe one of them has a decent enough overall to keep around as the backup for the year since we traded our backup. Either that or we just see who's on the free agent list as a veteran or maybe a UDFA that snuck through that was better than what they would have looked like. I would say we could trade out of the 6th round from here and then focus on fullbacks. Again, we looked at... I could focus on fullbacks. We could still take other people again, but their combines were pretty bad. We looked through everybody for a reason. I mean, honestly, even with the fullbacks, it's like, who cares? I think we could just trade down from here, and then maybe some of these people will slip through anyway. So, let's start getting picks for the future drafts here. We'll look, a 5th round pick or a 6th and 2 7ths. 5th round pick is pretty damn valuable. We'll take that 5th round pick next year from Buffalo. A 5th, 6th this year to get a 5th next year. Even if it is Buffalo. Buffalo, they weren't very good this year, right? No, they were the only team out of the AFCs to make the playoffs. Never mind. Still worth moving on from them. Let's keep trading down. Go full Belichick. Do what we got to do. 6th and a 7th. 6th rounder next year. 6th rounder down the road. Well, the 6th and the 7th seems to make sense. So let's do that with Tennessee. That's right, the Bills were in the Super Bowl. Yeah. I don't know who I was thinking of. That ended up being worse than expected. Oh, the freaking team that ended up with the first pick, the Eagles. That's who I was thinking of. Got bird on the brain, you know? 6th and the 7th, 6th rounder next year. Looks like a 6th and a 7th. The going rate, we'll take it from Tampa 2 years down the road. Instead of pick hoarding at the top of the draft, we're now pick hoarding at the bottom of drafts. How times have changed. The biggest question is, can I make this team work financially? Trading up for that 3rd overall pick put us in a bit of a rough spot cap-wise. Looks like we'll be able to land a 6th round pick from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh, Ellen. All right. I think I got 1 or maybe 2 more trade downs. I don't know how many picks I actually have in the 7th here. It's a lot. But we are getting a lot of draft capital back for the future years in case our plan doesn't work and we do not win anytime soon. And a lot of 6th round picks. Feeling okay about it. There really wasn't anybody else left where it's like, oh, we absolutely should take the risk on that guy. Aside from the fullbacks. My God, how many picks did I end up with? We ended up with a lot of those picks from trading away some of that depth and cashing out. Yeah, 6th round picks across the board. It's fine. So yeah, the big question I have to answer before we call tonight is, can I make this team work salary-wise with the restructure option, or am I screwed? Did I fly too close to the sun? Icarus 24. That is the question. But we are done with a monstrous 2030 draft in which we landed a potentially generational wide receiver, 3rd overall. We are currently showing up with $24.5 million in unavailable salary, aka we are way the fuck over the cap. This will be interesting, but with that, let's take a look at the draft recap and let's get the answer. I even want to hide it from myself. Just how good is this wide receiver? Will the class load? Thank you. How good is our boy Macklin? 3, 2, 1. 81! Really kind of an 80 out of the draft. That's not bad. That's not insane, but I'm not upset about it. Not at all. Major, what's going on, buddy? I'm doing well. Got the speed. His deep route running could use a bit of work. But yeah, man, this guy's nice. The cat pen is definitely from all the trades. Yeah. That's why you didn't see me doing any kind of crazy trades before this. Yeah, it's put us into a bit of a rough spot. So Macklin is an 80. Glenn Parks is only a 72. A little bit concerning. No 3rd or 4th round picks. A lot of guys in the 5th round. None of them overly amazing. We took a 58 overall quarterback in the 6th round. Nothing too crazy. At the top of this draft, I mean, damn. The Eagles took a 74. We had the highest rated player of the 1st round. John Sewell for the Titans was a 79. And some good players. We had the highest rated. Lowest rated player in the 1st round was a 64 offensive tackle for the Colts. That is brutal. 2nd round saw a couple of 75s, including Andy Shelley. Couldn't I just clear the cap penalties? Of course I could, but that's cheating, sir. I want to deal with my decisions. I do. Let's see. 63 overall was the lowest rated of the second round. Third round. Still had a couple of 75s, including Rick Milstead. And Junior Man. He was good, too. That's not surprising. He was actually better than the other guy, especially if he has a dev pattern. Yep, we fucked up. We took a good linebacker. We could have had a great young linebacker in Junior Man. I just didn't feel like we could get both of them, and I picked the wrong one. That's a shame. Fourth round. Whew. 79 overall wide receiver in the fourth round for Seattle with hidden dev. Well, our scouts certainly didn't tell me that. Wow. And it's a Lynch going to Seattle as well. God damn, that is, on paper, the best steal I've seen so far in Madden 24. Quality started the dip from there, but was it LaShawn Lynch, too? Was it LaShawn? It was LaShawn. LaShawn Lynch. And they say these games aren't scripted. And they say that these games aren't scripted. I call shenanigans. Oh my god, we're $24 million over the cap. What the hell am I going to do? There might not even be a way out of this without resetting the cap penalty. There might not. I gotta go to the members screen to do it. Is there any way for me to escape this? Like, how would I even escape this? Like, really? Shit. Khalid Callahan has the biggest contract right now, but there's only 1 year left. I can't restructure a deal with 1 year left. Oh my god, he's gonna get paid so much money. Like, this is it, man. This is it. Jay Williams, can I restructure that contract, buddy? We'll free up $6.6 million in cap this season. 3.3 will be added per year to the final 2 years of his deal. Yes, let's restructure the Jay Williams contract. So again, this is now the time to utilize that. It shows us with positive cap space in the top right. What does it show from the main menu? It's not showing anything now. If I were to go to the free agent list, does it show us with space? Have we escaped this issue? Like, if I wanted to go for AJ Cole as our punter. Okay, so we do technically have positive cap space. But I am still going to have to restructure another contract or two to be able to make this work. And to be able to bring in the veterans that we want to bring in and stuff like that. So,
Attitude adjuster, I know that's what I just did, sir. I appreciate you trying to be helpful, but you're about 3 steps behind right now.
So we should be okay. We should be. Again, we restructured the Jay Williams contract, and there were other deals. It's okay. Don't worry about it. We can restructure Chest's contract. You seeing how much Williams is making now, though? This year, next year, and the year at Jesus Christ. Oh, these cap penalties. Oh, this is it, chat. This next season, this is it. We're going to lose some people at the end of this year that we won't be able to afford anymore. The cap hits we're going to have to take on in terms of restructuring to just make this team cap compliant this year. This is it. We have to win this year, or it could get bad quickly. But this team is fucking stacked. Like, seriously. We have an X-Factor quarterback. We have an X-Factor running back. We have an absolutely absurd receiving core now with the addition of Marco Macklin. Bryce Wells will be moved to tight end to work alongside Lonnie Reed, unless you trade some now. But if you trade people, you still end up with cap penalties, depending on the deals. Again, the O-line is looking pretty damn good. We'll have some things to change up, move someone to right guard. The D-line has Chest and Forrest Harris. We got better at DT with Michael Lucas. Linebacker, we brought in Manny Salcedo. We still have Malone in the middle. Devin Fowler's on the right side now. Corners, Callahan, Flowers, Okuda, and Deshaun Mooney. And then Derek Ridley and Matthias Griffin at safety. I might have to do a bit more finagling. And we don't have our first round pick in this upcoming draft. But I should be able to make this team work. But we are going to feel the consequences very, very, very quickly.